I want to take a moment here and review the lesson we had today. Thank you, obviously, in getting this, and again, thank you for the fix and help with the fix. So, as we get started here, you can almost see here in this pickup what I have is initially your grip, and then as you take it back here, then we're going to wind you just a little bit here. This is kind of where initially we had or the view of what your stance was, okay? So we're going to start with the stance and kind of go from there. When we take a look at the stance, one of the things you have to think about here is just like any other sport. You played football, when you get out in activities, and things, especially as a paramedic, you've got to use, you got to have your weight when you're going to lift things in a balanced position. Or when you do activities, you have to have your weight in a balanced position or athletic stance. Now, when I say that, what I'm looking at here, right here in the stance, the back looks great, and when we look here in the back looks relatively straight, looks pretty good in this case. But you see how your hunch, when you draw a straight line from your hunch down, you can see a dramatic portion of your body, or even if I went halfway through from the balls of your feet on up, you can see the majority of your body is back on your heels. In this case, I would much rather see an equal equivalent of body mass or weight distributed over the balls of your feet, or vice versa, the instep of your feet. Now, when we take a look at this, you can see clearly in this case that a majority of your weight is back on your heels or back towards your heels. Vice versa, when you look at your arms hang out away from your body. In the golf swing, what we want to see and what we like to look for is as we stand in a natural athletic position, as our arms hanging naturally, weight up over the balls of our feet, and our arms hanging naturally from the shoulders. Now, when we look at this here, what I'm going to show you is, here I'll show you Bubba. Bubba's a natural left-hander, and this is Bubba Watson right here. You can see Bubba here. You can see how he's very tall into it. Now he's set up on this particular shot with the stance a little open, shoulders somewhat square here. Now, when we look at someone else, let's say Bernard Longer. Let's switch Bernard around. Make Bernard a lefty. You can kind of see a little bit different than what Bubba was, but you can still see feet here, shoulders going the same direction. But for the most part, if we drew that line right from the base of his feet, we'll just go from the insteps here. Look how there's an equal amount of weight distributed to the front and to the back of his body. Vice versa, we go to the balls of the feet. It doesn't matter. It's, we're splitting hairs here, but you can kind of still see the same amount. The same amount of weight being equally distributed between the two. Consequently, we'll look at Greg Norman. Same type of thing. Balls to the feet. Same position. See how the body weight is equally distributed. Mass going to the front and to the back of the stance. Feeling a little bit better than what we see here on the right-hand side. Now, because of that, that's one of the first things we talked about and one of the first things we looked at. Now, as we look here, we didn't see, we didn't go much over the stance, but the second, what we looked for here was going to your grip. Left hand is a little strong. Right hand is going to be a little weak. What I'd like to see is to try to get where the index finger right here and the thumb form a V. When we say form a V, this is what it looks like here. Sorry about that. I had the cat jump right on the computers. I was doing this here, but form a V to where the V points ideally, at the left shoulder, or if not between the chin and the left shoulder. And in this case here, it's not so much that it forms here, but you can almost see the straight line here. I kind of used the example with you of thinking of a business card, holding a business card in your hand here. And if you look here, the same type of positioning right here, you can see how these V's or these positions with your hands are going two opposite directions here. We want to try to line them up where initially they're going the same. Or ideally, where I like to see is probably a little more on this angle here. Not so strong with the left and not so weak, or what they call weak with the right hand. So as we get into it, I think this next picture here kind of clearly shows that. I think I got a good picture of here. I got to bring back the left-handed here. No, not this one here. Take this one. There we go. We can still see we got the right hand a little better position here. Left hand, it's in a closer position, but it's in a similar position where it was on the left-hand side, but a little better. Ideally, that's what I want to see. Let's turn that right hand just a hair. Let's get that left hand, put that thumb of your right hand into the lifeline of your left hand. So as you set up to it, and as you look at this here, the hands will work together rather than working apart. Next, we'll look at your stance. That was strictly your grip there. When we look at your stance here, I should have got a behind the view picture of it. There we go. And you're still kind of thinking about it there. This is where we go. A little bit better positioning here. When we go from the balls of your feet right here up, what we can see is a little better than what we were before, but ideally try to keep that supportive position in an athletic position on the ball. Having that, then we can go a little bit better. When you compare this to this here originally, you can see that the arms are a little further out here compared to here. A little bit better positioning. Ideally, that's kind of getting you to stand a little taller, get the weight a little over the balls of the feet rather than sit back on the heels like we see on the right-hand side. Now, from there, what we want to think about, or what we want to try to do now, is the next picture. What I essentially did is I told you to put your hands together, and all I wanted you to do is I wanted you to swing back to the left-hand side, almost form a U, but I want you to get the weight ideally back to this left foot. Now, as you do that, you can kind of watch yourself as you do this. Feel that weight load up to the left. There we go. Great position there. You can see the weight. Right hip is turned back into here, going this direction. Right heel came off the ground just a little bit, which is not bad, But this is a key point. If that right heel comes up off the ground, as that right heel goes to get planted, as you plant that right heel, you see this little move right there? That's the little move I want you to think about, having the hands come down, right elbow comes to the side, right hip starts kicking through, getting that weight transferred to the right hand side. Belt buckle facing the target, ideally, is what I'd like to see. Great position in there. 15 to 20 reps is all I'm asking for, is just feeling that transfer back from one side to the left. Now, when we go to the golf ball, it's the same thing, no different here. I want you with the golf club, slowly, first 10 to 12 inches, taking the club back, and then we go up, getting that weight transferred to that left-hand side. There you go there, push that ball back. You see that weight transfer back here. We feel rotation of the hands going up. Now that's maybe a little too far, what I'd say in the beginning. You see how your body rose up? In that position, we don't want to see it rise up. We want to try to take it back as far as we can. So if this is as far back as we can, I want you thinking, left or right arm, maybe pointing back to 10 o'clock. You say that, this is what I'm talking about here. Or maybe 2 o'clock. See how the hands right to 2 o'clock? This right shoulder has become square or perpendicular to the line as we look here down at your feet. There's that line at your feet. You've turned the club, you've turned your shoulders back behind the golf ball. Left or right arm is up towards 2 o'clock. So you take it a little higher, which you necessarily don't need to do, but you've got that weight over this left side. Now as you come back down, same position. What I want you to think, left elbow to your side, weight transferring down through push the ball forward, and turn up. Okay, same type of thing using the club that I gave you. I just want you, just using that slow stroke, swinging up to 2 o'clock, turning around the spine or your axis that you thought about there, and then let the club fall, come down and through, transfer to that right hand side and the club going up. Do that 15 to 20 reps, maybe 2 sets. That way you think about playing 9 to 18 holes is essentially what I'm looking at you doing. Now, when you go to hit a golf ball, this is what I want you to do right here. Okay? So, this is basically a similar type of stroke of what we see on the left-hand side. I didn't get a full action view of swinging, but it's just nice and slow. But I want you to do about, probably a 50% swing. So as you get back, have a good rotation of the hands coming up, feeling that rotate at right hand, rotate the club up. And when I say that, see how the club face here is pointing dead to the ground. What I mean is letting it rotate up is right here. I'll show you Rory McIlroy will play left-handed today, but we're going to flip Rory around. He's going to play left-handed. So as he takes the club back, you can almost see the toe of the club kind of point straight up to the ground and have that rotation of the right hand. Toe of the club up, face of the club is perpendicular to the ground. Okay? Yours, face is pointing dead to the ground, toe is pointing out here to 11 o'clock. We draw a straight line out here. This is where the face is pointing. This is where his face is pointing. But that's ideally where I'd like to see you as you rotate up to the top here compared to here. Look at the difference here. You can even watch Rory as he takes it even further back. That's turning, getting some loose. You're a little tight in your back. We need to get you a little loosened up. Get you to make that full turn, getting that weight back over that left-hand side. Hands coming down through the ball, going to that right-hand side. Now, Jay, went over a few things with you here. Grip, stance, getting the club rotated to the top, getting the weight loaded up on that left-hand side, and then swinging back through from the left-hand side to that right-hand side, finishing with that belt buckle to the target. Now, if you have any questions, obviously, son, you know what number to get a hold of me at. But if not, shoot me an email at michaelwyattgolf@gmail.com. I look forward to seeing you, brother, and good working with you as